Let's go through stories this morning from the News Hound. A total of 5,742 athletes and officials have been registered to participate at the 7th National Youth Games scheduled to hold in Asaba from September 20 to 30. Now, Team Delta has won virtually all editions of the Youth Games since the competition came into existence in 2013 in Abuja. The 2023 edition would have 34 scoring events. To ensure that only clean athletes take part in the games, the authorities also warned that doping control would be enforced as athletes may be tested at random during the games. The last 5 editions of the Youth Games were held in Ilorin, Kwara State, with Team Delta winning all.
And to some boxing news, where after failing to make the Japan 2020 Olympics game, a Nigerian boxing team is in Dakar, Senegal, fighting to win slots in the Paris 2024 edition of the Games. The road to the Paris began on Saturday in Dakar, where there are 18 Olympic quota berths on the line. The Dakar Arena is hosting the Boxing Africa qualifier that ends on September 15. Boxers who don't qualify for quota seats in Dakar will have another chance at the 2 world qualification competitions in Busto Arsizio, Italy, from February 29 to March 12, 2024, and Bangkok, Thailand, from May 23 to June 3, 2024.
After their victory at the IHF Women's Trophy Africa Continental phase recently, the Nigerian under-18 women's handball team will participate in the African Women's Youth Nations Championship, which will hold in Monastir, Tunisia, from September 16 to 23. In a draw ceremony held in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, ahead of the African tourney, Nigeria drawn in Group A alongside Guinea, Algeria, and two-time champion Tunisia.
3 Kenyan athletes yesterday emerged winners at the Lotus Bank 10-kilometer Abeokuta race, pocketing $9,000 prizes. Peter Nwaniki clinched first position, having covered the race in 29 minutes and 33 seconds.
Let's turn now to combat sports, where Strickland upset heavy pre-fight favourite Israel Adesanya to win the middleweight title at UFC 293 in Sydney, Australia. Now, American Strickland, who's 32 years old, pressed forward relentlessly over 5 rounds, outstriking Nigerian-born New Zealander Adesanya to win a unanimous decision. Strickland was only handed the title opportunity after an injury to fellow top contender Dricus du Plessis.
Terms have been agreed for Anthony Joshua to fight Deontay Wilder, but the Briton may walk away if contracts are not agreed soon. Eddie Hearn says this. Promoter Hearn said Joshua could fight Tyson Fury instead, while a third go at Andy Ruiz Jr. is also on the cards. Former 2-time heavyweight champion Joshua has been strongly linked with fighting Wilder, with a December date in Saudi Arabia touted in recent months. We've agreed the money. We've agreed everything, said Hearn.
Let's turn now to tennis stories, where Novak Djokovic won a record-equaling 24th Grand Slam singles title by outlasting Daniil Medvedev in a punishing US Open final in New York. The 36-year-old Serb won 6-3, 7-6, 6-3, but the straight-set scoreline does not tell how deep he had to dig. Now, Djokovic took control to level McGregor's 50-year record. He has won 3 of the 4 Grand Slam titles in 2023, becoming the first man to achieve this feat on 4 occasions.
And still in tennis, the newest winner of the US Open in tennis is American youngster Coco Gauff, and new details are emerging constantly about her life. She got the better of Belarusian tennis star Aryna Sabalenka on Saturday, despite making a number of errors early in the match. In the post-match press conference on the US Open final, Gauff said, "I just called my boyfriend and I told him, let's talk until it's time to go to sleep. So we spoke until 1 a.m. and then I went to sleep. I woke up this morning. Yeah, when I lost the first set, I still felt I was into the match and I said, I'm going to give it my all."
Well, there's something coming through from the Rugby World Cup. Scotland slipped to defeat in their first World Cup opener as defending champion South Africa, put in a typical ruthless and powerful display in Marseille. Now, Townsend side now face an uphill task to get out of the fiendishly difficult Pool B that also includes the world number 1 ranked side, Ireland, while South Africa got their title defense off to a solid start and will next face Romania next Sunday.
And Germany won the Basketball World Cup for the first time by beating Serbia, who were missing talisman Nikola Jovic, 83-77 in Manila. It is their first title since winning the European Championship in 1993. Canada took third place with a 127-118 win against the United States, who Germany knocked out in the semi-finals earlier in the day.
From football stories, the Nigerian Football Federation has approved the change of name for the country's top-flight football league. Now, the decision to change the name was ratified at the 79th NFF Annual General Assembly in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State on Sunday. According to the communique released after the AGA, the NFF approved the change of the name of the country's top-flight football league from the Nigerian Professional Football League to the Nigerian Premier Football League. Now, the Congress pledged full support to the Super Eagles in its quest to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in USA, Mexico, Canada.
Victor Osimhen grabbed a hat-trick as Nigeria signed off the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign with a thumping 6-0 win over Sao Tome and Principe on Sunday. The Super Eagles were dominant from the outset, and Osimhen headed them in front after just 13 minutes. Ademola Lookman added a second with a neat finish before Osimhen netted a penalty after the break to put the result beyond doubt. Taiwo Awoniyi and Samuel Chukwueze also got in on the act as Nigeria ran riot. Following the win, the Super Eagles sealed their place at the top of Group A on 15 points, scoring 22 goals in 6 matches of the group.
Well, let's stay with the Africa Cup of Nations. 3 more teams sealed their places at the 2023 edition on Saturday as Mozambique secured qualification with a dramatic 95th minute winner. Mauritania and Democratic Republic of Congo also booked a spot at next year's finals, but there was disappointment for striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as his Gabon side missed out. Saturday's 3 qualifiers joined Algeria, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Mozambique, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, Tunisia and Zambia at the finals alongside Ivory Coast, who qualified automatically as hosts. More crucial games will take place up till the 12th of September as 2 final nations, including Cameroon, look to secure their place at the 24-team tournament with a total of 22 teams now through.
And Super Eagles striker Paul Onuachu had a medical on Sunday ahead of proposed loan move to Turkish side Trabzonspor. Onuachu joined Southampton in January following an £18 million move from Genk but was unable to prevent their relegation from the Premier League, and his only appearance this season came in the EFL Cup in Gillingham.
Neymar surpassed Pelé as Brazil's all-time top scorer with 2 second-half goals in a 5-1 win over Bolivia in South America's 2026 World Cup qualifiers on Friday. And the 31-year-old striker went into the game level with Pelé on 77 goals and had a golden opportunity to break the record in the 61st minute when Brazil and then extended his record with a second in other time.
And Luis Rubial has resigned as president of the Spanish Football Federation following criticism for kissing Spain forward Jenny Hermoso at the Women's World Cup final presentation ceremony. Rubial said he had submitted his resignation to Federation acting president Pedro Rocha in a statement. The 46-year-old has also resigned his position as vice president of UEFA's executive committee.
Hansi Flick has been sacked as Germany manager following Saturday's 4-1 friendly defeat by Japan in Wolfsburg. Now he becomes the first Germany boss to be sacked since the role was created in 1926. Germany have lost 4 of their past 5 games, with Flick overseeing just 12 wins in his 25 matches since replacing Joachim Low in August of 2021. Rudi Völler, who managed the team from 2000 to 2004, takes temporary charge for Tuesday's friendly with France.
And Manchester United winger Anthony has agreed to delay his return to the club to address allegations of assault made against him. The 23-year-old was due back to training on Monday after being dropped from Brazil's squad for their World Cup qualifiers against Bolivia and Peru. But United say it has been agreed with the player that he will delay his return until further notice in order to address the matter. Anthony denies all the allegations.
And finally this morning, England's Lionesses could go on strike amid a bitter pay row with the FA, according to reports. Now, players were understood to be seeking around £100,000 each in bonuses had they won the World Cup down under after losing 1-0 to Spain in the final. They're willing to accept half the amount. Players are set for crunch talks with the FA chief this week. Now, there are reports that players are aware of their possible actions and could choose to press on with a nuclear option of ceasing all commercial work for the FA. It's even claimed that it could refuse to play until a resolution is reached, although the option has not yet been directly suggested. That ends the news hound this morning on Sports Zone.
A lot of upheaval in women's football. Okay, but I think we should introduce our guests so he can also, I think he's uniquely qualified as well to give us his perspective on the various stories that we trusted out this morning. So,
okay, let's say good morning to Adam Salahuddin. He's the chairman, Lagos Referees Council. Got it correct?
Correct.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Did he first try?
Morning, Adams. We met for the first time downstairs. This is a very imposing fellow. And if you're a referee in a game in which I was playing, I'd behave myself. Because Adams is a hefty fellow, and he looks like someone that doesn't
very huge.
That doesn't fit. He doesn't look like someone that broke any nonsense whatsoever. Adams, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
I know this.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all ours. I think I think we'll both agree. Are you a regular listener to Sports?
Oh yes,
a lot of time I listen to you on program. I love my way to work.
Every day. Okay, good. Okay, let me ask you a question. And please don't be overawed.
No.
Who's your favorite member of the Sports Zone?
Yourself.
No, thank you. No. Okay, let's move on. I don't want to hog the line. Hey, camera down there, maybe there. All right, okay, fine. We're going to get because we can simply assume you're here because you listened to us last Monday.
Yes, I did.
And within Kichobi was a hit, and you wanted to give us something. Fine. Yes. All right, but let's address. We'll just run through this. But is any particular story that took your interest in the news round?
The story of Anthony actually hit me because it looked as if a lot of young footballers are not properly mentored to be careful on how they go into a relationship with the opposite sex. It is giving them a lot of problem. Look at the Grayson Mewood issue.
Yes.
Look at the Tony and some other young footballers. Look at the guy that his career was decimated at Man City.
Mendy.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been affected.
At the very least, wrong place, wrong time.
Yes. They need to be guided as they go into professional football space. It is important that they be careful.
I like the word you used, mentored. Like you haven't judged anybody. You haven't said, the players. You said if they are properly mentored. And you mentioned a few names. You mentioned Tony as well. Because Tony also wasn't properly mentored. If you're properly mentored, you know that you shouldn't be betting in the sports you're playing in. So that's the thing. It's the knowledge to know the right or the wrong, knowledge to put yourself in a better position, and that comes from mentoring. And I love that word.
It's mentoring. It's PR as well, because they'll say na person where they catch na be thief. The reality is that if you are properly mentored, if you have a good PR setup that helps you, because they will groom you in PR. Branding is very important, because that's how you can be able to get people to endorse you. There are people who do these things and they don't get caught. There are people who do these things and
no, but it is
not
wrong.
saying that it is right.
It is wrong to do it.
No.
It's wrong.
So we're saying that if you're properly, it is wrong to bet on games you are playing in. No, Konami. Tony bet in a match he was playing in. That is wrong.
It's wrong to bet at all, self. We are not supposed to bet, and I'm following up, and I agree with Adam. I think that's lovely, and I mean, look at this lad too as well. He's not done anything outside football, but he's extremely badly behaved. Jordan Sancho. As far as I know, that tweet is still pinned. As far as I know, it's still not taking it down. And you think, what are these guys? And you know what it comes down? It comes down to money. These guys are such a young age, are earning so much money. So they're surrounded by people that enable them, people that give them that sense of a time. I mean, because if you contrast an Anthony and Ivan Toney, a Jordan Sancho, then I will give you a Jude Bellingham. A Jude Bellingham has been playing at the highest level since he was 16. He was playing for Birmingham when he was 16. How old was he when he went to Dortmund? And then when he left Dortmund, he was a club captain and came within an ace of lifting the Bundesliga title.
He was standing captain.
Well, whatever. You know, or whatever.
But that's
you just like to be difficult. That's why people hate you. I'm sorry.
That's a very interesting perspective, like the contrast.
It's because it's about family. I mean, Anthony is a boyfriend, and I love to be honest with you. United has been dastardly recently. You know, every pothole they could have driven into, they've consciously driven into.
But I think that's not fair on Manchester United.
Not.
I'm always the one. I'm always on your side on this.
It's not.
It is not fair.
It's not even harsh enough.
It is not fair because the chairman here just spoke about mentoring. Where is the first place you get mentoring from? The family.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to start off by saying the family.
You know one thing that you're fond of. You didn't let me finish my statement.
You blame Man United.
No, wait, hold on. You didn't let me finish my statement.
Apologies.
So what I was going to say, this is the first time that in this Anthony that they've handled it properly. They didn't cast blame on the boy. They didn't say it's guilty. As you know, nobody cast. You said stay in Brazil
first.
Do you understand? They both, it's a mutual agreement, and sort yourself out, which I think that's wisdom. I think the Mr. Greenwood in Brooklyn was mishandled very badly because they wanted to bring him back. It was clear that, but then when there was so much furore, they now did a U-turn. He wants
360.
360. No, 360 is going back to where you started from. So it's 180. They now changed their mind again or whatever. You know, so I think Anthony deserves to be stood down. Nobody's saying he's guilty, but unfortunately, there's a lot of scandal around him.
So if he's innocent, what do those women who have accused him suffer? Because
they suffer nothing.
That's the thing. So I'm saying that you're asking him to stand down till he clears his name.
He has to.
Because he's the public figure in this
he has
situation.
To, Femi. He has to.
We don't know what punishment
exactly. They've made allegations
on the other side.
For Brazil to have stood him down as well. You understand that he left Manchester United with no choice. And right now, the Greater Manchester Police are investigating the incident as well.
It's really
because
really
a footballer.
Sad.
There's a footballer in the Premier League who practically just sort of withered away. The
Everton guy.
Yeah, the Everton footballer just went away. So we finally found out it was Sigurdsson because all they said was a player who is 31. And at that time, there were just two 31-year-olds in that team. It was Delph or it was him. And Delph was still playing. He wasn't there. My point now is he's playing in one backwater league. Meanwhile, the allegations came out clean. Had nothing.
Femi, I'm not sitting or in brief here for anybody, but unfortunately, when these accusations are made, it's very unfortunate. They have to, and apparently, pictures, whatever, WhatsApp message. Just I said, I don't know the facts of the matter. But the thing is, I think what both Anthony and United have arrived at is the wisest, because he's not been accused or charged of anything. He's been accused, sorry.
Not charged of anything,
but unlike Mr. Greenwood was arrested and charged to court. You understand? Then henceforth suspended. And then in fairness, so much more information came out about Mr. Greenwood online, but it's unfortunate. It's okay. Anything else?
The Coco Golf story.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wonderful.
I really
has a boyfriend at 19.
What?
That's the one that
she was my daughter. She has a boyfriend at 19. And you called him to 1 a.m. What?
But I'm very happy for her because I know that I'm not sure a lot of people gave her the chance.
Yeah.
But
too much pressure.
And then too much noise.
Around
You've been able to silence the noise when it mattered the most now. Was absolutely brilliant. I think she's been in like 1 or 2.
No, I think this is the second final.
This is second final.
Second final.
Second final, yeah. So that's not bad. That's
not bad for her.
She sort of picked before the tournament. Picked, like in terms of the WTA events, she picked. And I thought she did well.
I think this is her 13th win in a row or something. 13th win.
I'm very really happy for her to have conquered that demon. I'm just hoping that this is a springboard to many more.
Yes, we're happy for
slams.
her. Go to the next story.
No, I still remaining with Coco Golf. I love the videos out there. There's one of her which was 5 or something.
Oh yes,
at the US Open.
At the US Open fans day and all that. One of her.
Yeah, that's
when she was 13, and she said she'd love to.
Yeah,
she dreamed the dream. So. I think it's a beautiful story. I think for everybody out there that wants to do something, you voice it, you you speak it into life, you speak to the universe to make it happen.
Yeah, and let's go to Joe.
Yes, can I make a little contribution on that Coco Golf story? Yes, I'll need her to be extremely careful. She's 19. If you go back a few years, Naomi Osaka also won at a very tender age. She withered off.
Yeah.
She went about mental health, all these kind of issues that she had back then. So she needs to be properly guided. At 19, it's a big stage.
I think that for Coco Golf, I'm practically dreaming the story of the Williams sisters for her. Her father would do a good job, just like, because it was her father that took her to the stadium when she was 5 years old. So I think that, like you said, because all of these things is all about mentoring and grooming.
It's about family.
So
but he's trying to say caution should not be thrown, and he's mentioned
that's what I'm saying.
Osaka. I would mention Emma Raducanu. They were all very young. I mentioned Eugenie Bouchard. She was also the next big thing to happen to tennis. They were comparing her to Sharapova. And like you said, they were not properly mentored and they sort of just fell off.
I even think Raducanu is actually the perfect, because Osaka, in fairness, won 3 or 4.
Won about 4 Grand.
Won about 3. She went there. In fairness, Naomi's problem. So I think she comes from a very solid background from her mother's side.
Yeah,
the Japanese thing. I mean, she's a corporate goddess in Japan, solid as a rock. And so I think her family background is rock solid. But Raducanu, I think, became entitled, developed her attitude, and she's just fallen off a cliff. I mean, she set a record being the first qualifier ever to qualify and win the US Open. And from then on, she's gone nowhere. She sacked the coach that took her that far. Even going on about how people are envious of her success and all that, and saying all the wrong things. Not that she was out there doing funny stuff, but she's now become.
She can't even go past round 2.
Does she still even play? I think she's
doesn't play
right now.
She sacked a couple of coaches.
Do you understand?
She's had different things.
That's a perfect example. So I think what the ref has said here is so. It's so spot on. It's all about the family, people that surround. Because you see, the thing is, these are people that have a precocious talent, and you have to give it to the parents that identify that talent, and then put in so much resources to make that talent, to groom it, and to make it blossom. But then, if it is not properly handled, you can have one or two things. You can have a Jude Bellingham, or you can have a Mason Greenwood. Because apart from Mr. Greenwood's mess, I got himself with that young lady who is now the mother of his child, and all. Apparently was very badly behaved in the dressing room as well, and Ole, being who Ole is, just ignored it and allowed him to. And you can see the same happening too with the Jadon Sancho, who Pep got rid of at City, went to the Bundesliga, did very well. The minute he moved to back to the UK on the big money with a massive contract, it's just I'm earning 350,000. There's no incentive to play, no incentive to better yourself. It's really sad.
Novak Djokovic, 24 titles.
In as much as
you guys have been delaying the story, so I just wanted to get
I'm not a Djoko fan, but are you a tennis
Yes, fan? I love Roger Federer.
My brother,
just comment on the Novak story already, please.
So what's your take on Djokovic?
It's a great achievement actually. But we Roger Federer guys, we always say, let him just go. But with time, because he plays with a lot of strength and style, that's why he has outlasted Nadal and Roger, of course, age. But as he grew slightly older, in the next 2-3 years, I foresee Alcaraz coming to surpass him. But before then, he could have gone to 28 or 29 Grand Slams. It's possible.
Exactly.
Because it's that fit.
I think the numbers, that's it. I agree with you. I think the numbers will never be. In fact, to be honest, I'm rooting with him to win more. Because I don't even like this comparison with Margaret Court. One, because Margaret Court has robbed it, because nobody was talking. When they were talking about Grand Slams, it was always Steffi Graf.
Yes.
You understand?
It was always Graf.
Margaret Court was like, because she was
when it wasn't
before the Open era. So 2 separate, and before the Open, it was much less competition. Now they're now saying 24-20. Well, he's equaled it, but and the women's game and men's game, okay, fine.
It's absolutely
so
brilliant.
Let him go out there.
Djokovic is brilliant. 3 Grand Slams this year.
Yes,
Grand Slams this year.
He's done that 4 times.
4 times.
Brilliant.
As in, the guy does not get enough credit for the work that he's done for tennis. There's so much talk about his attitude, which I don't think is very bad. You can be.
I love what he said about Kobe, though.
brilliant tribute.
He knew what he was targeting a certain group, and I think he just hit it well.
So I was even very happy when ref mentioned his style of play, because a lot of people have said he's not very fancy with his play.
Doesn't have to be fancy.
You just get the result done. Do you understand? You just want to find a loophole to the greatness that is this guy. And I don't think that you would literally find any loophole. Because yesterday's match was
Federer was great. He was graceful. He was technically gifted, and he, like they say, he was gliding on the surface, and you enjoy it. But Djokovic doesn't care. No, Djokovic doesn't care about that.
There's no bots.
Djokovic doesn't care about that.
We are not even bots.
There's no bots.
We are not bots. The numbers don't lie.
I'm botting. Novak Djokovic is the greatest.
The numbers
he's won the most Grand Slams.
No, he's the greatest.
He's the greatest of all time.
He's the greatest.
That's why they always,
even Federer will agree with us.
Even when they're talking about Djokovic, they always say arguably. But
there's no argue anymore.
This guy is just you can compare with Federer is Pete Sampras.
Because they play the same style of they play the same style of tennis. You're talking about somebody who's different.
He is different.
He's different. Carved his own niche and then ran with it and ran express as anybody on the way. Out. And I'm even shocked at the Medvedev that turned up yesterday or this morning.
Well, yesterday Medvedev did push him. It just
in the second set.
Yeah,
the first and the third wasn't enough. Because the Medvedev that played against Alcaraz, if he turned up yesterday, the match would not be as quote unquote.
Even if Alcaraz had turned up, what Medvedev would have pushed him through in the previous round, it would be difficult for him
because anybody who played very well yesterday and pushed Novak in that second set should have taken advantage of it.
But we all accept. I'm sure all of us will agree that Djokovic had a much easier path to the final now. Let's agree.
It's God's doing.
It's God's doing. Let's
God's doing. He's number one from today. When the rankings are released, he'll be number one. Just quickly, I just want to touch on two stories in the News Hound that caught my interest. Germany won the basketball for men. USA came fourth.
They are not what champions.
Then Israel Adesanya. That fight, sad. I intentionally didn't even list it. No, I didn't watch it. I didn't even think we should even list it for our predictions because I'm like, how nice. It
was so one-sided.
Yes.
You know, it was almost like an Anthony Joshua and
the Ruiz
scenario. Yeah,
it was. But hey, it's all good.
Okay. Then what else? Speaking of Anthony Joshua, would they ever fight at Deontay? Would they ever fight? It's like they're deceiving us. Do you understand? I think it's mass. It's either trying to hypnotize us or, they keep on going on that there's a deal or they walk away. What's going on?
It may not happen.
I don't think that fight is going to happen. Deontay Wilder does not want to fight Joshua. I feel right. I don't think they want to fight each other. Anyway.
One other story that sort of caught my attention. I'm wondering why the name of our league is always a topic that we should be worried about as in the NFF Congress. Is like, how is that? Like, the league has plenty issues that should be deliberated upon in the Congress. I'm just innocently wondering why the name of the league.
The answer to that question is confidential.
Yeah, exactly. So
moving on. It's now Nigeria Premier Football League.
But to just answer your question, the organizers, there was a legal issue last year, before the start of last year, right? The right holders felt that it was the name, so that's why we started with Nigerian Premier League for last year.
Okay.
So now the NFF has ratified it. It's confirmed. This is the new name. So any issues we had previously goes out the window with this one.
Are you satisfied?
It's okay. If not,
I just wonder.
But it's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. It's like saying the Premier League. You know that before they used to call it the EPL. It was EPL before. Now it's the Premier League.
The Premier League, exactly. And I tell people.
So what's the difference with that one too? Is it not just a name?
When was the last time we heard about this?
Yes,
we heard about this change last season.
They only just confirmed the change now on paper, ink, biro and paper. They just ratified it.
So on all your MPFL and Fernandez, just cancel professional and write
use
Premier.
biro,
write Premier. There's a P. If they had put something else, like, it would be confusing. But for people that it takes time, just cancel professional and refill Premier. You understand?
Okay,
we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
So